Okay, so Dhruva Stuti. Dhruva uvacha yontah pravishya mama vacham prasuptam sanjiyatyakila shaktidhara swadhamna anyamscha hastacharana pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. Dhruva uvacha योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्. So, Dhruva's story is generally familiar. Those who have heard, may have read the Bhagavatam, may not have read also. You would have heard of Dhruva's story in some form or the other, right? Well, it's part of our cultural, of the many stories that we hear. Dhruva's story is also part of our cultural storytelling heritage, right? Party, choli, abdi. So you'll hear it. As a child, also, you would have heard. In fact, my brother's son's name is Dhruva. So when he had visited us from the US last time, he told me, Peripa, please tell me the story of Dhruva Abdin Cholta. Then I opened up Bhagavatam and I read that story, and he was so interested to listen to the story. So it is quite nice. Briefly, the story goes that this is king called Uttanapada, and he has two wives, Suniti and Suruchi. The first wife's son is Dhruva. Second wife's son is Uttaman. But the first wife was not of royal blood. She was not of royal blood. So what happens is the second wife, Suruchi, also happens to be the the king's favorite. She always discriminates the boy, the other boy, which is Dhruva. Discriminates means she always shows him that he is not of royal blood. Although he is born to the king, he is not born to the royal bloodline from the mother's side. So there's an occasion or an incident that happens where Uttaman is sitting on the father's lap. It's all small little boys, 5-6-year-old boys. Uttaman is sitting on the father's lap, and then Dhruva runs to get onto his lap. And then Suruchi comes and stops him and says that no, you have not earned the right to sit on the king's lap because you are not born to me. And if you want to be able to sit on the father's lap, you should be born to me. So go but now that you're not born to me, go do tapas. And in your next birth, you can come through my womb and then you get the right to sit on the father's lap. And the boy is completely shattered. And in his mind, 5-6 years old boy, he's feeling humiliated and insulted, and it's feeling because children don't understand this discrimination, right? Children are very pure, and if they love something, they love it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. That's it. Very, very simple, very clear in their definitions. But this discrimination was not clear to him as to why his stepbrother was able to sit while he is not. So then he goes and cries to his mother, and the mother consoles him. But very interestingly, this mother is not like any other mother. Poi sanda podlava appadinu. Let me go and fight with the father or the husband or with the other wife. What nonsense is this? I have equal rights. The equal rights fight பண்றதுக்கு போய் நிக்கிறது, all that thing that she didn't do. She realized that yes, this is my place, and but if you want to gain the trust and the love of your father, why do you yearn for the love of this father, the earthly father? Why don't you go and seek out the supreme father? See, imagine somebody has got to give a little boy that kind of an advice, your own son, to be able to give that kind of an advice. Imagine the maturity of the mother. Right? Suniti, her name itself, they say that is Suniti. Niti is judgment, understanding. So she is endowed with Suniti, um, a very and wisdom and knowledge and understanding that is aligned to dharma, Suniti. So she tells the boy that, not a boy, right? She tells her own son that, listen, I understand it is very difficult to bear this kind of an insult, and you deserve to be receiving of your father's love. Um, but don't go and knock on that door. But even if you get that, so what? I mean, you will fight it out. You may get to then sit on your father's lap. So what? It's still temporary. Go and seek out that father, the love from whom is everlasting. It doesn't end and it always gives you joy, right? So I always see when a mother or a friend or a or could be a sister, like for example, Arunagiri Nadarku வந்து the sister played this role. So whoever kind of instigates this kind of motivates them, I see them also as a guru. Because like my guru says, guru is not necessarily a person. It is the process of awakening within us. The process that awakens, or that I should look at life bigger than what I am trying to see it through this peephole. This pigeonhole that through which I'm trying to see life. Somebody comes and knocks on your head and says that look at life. It's bigger than this small, petty little thing that you're thinking you are. I am this little. See, there is something. Anybody who does that to you is your guru. Or the guru has come in that form to grace you. It is actually your inner calling. Right? Like, for example, for Ramana, this one gentleman who came and said the word Arunachala, he was not intending to tell Arunachala to Ramana, Venkatramana. He was talking to his father. But the word Arunachala came from this person, and then he took that as his process of enlightenment or process of awakening began there. So always that story comes in whenever a Ramana story is there, that person who came and spoke about Arunachala, that person appears in that story. He probably has not done, he's done it unknowingly. And here, but the mother is doing it knowingly. She is guiding the child with complete understanding and wisdom that you will get that supreme love. Don't seek for small love. Don't seek for small happinesses and joys in relationships and human beings and people. Seek that supreme joy, after which you will stop begging from people. எவ்வளோ பெரிய உபதேசம் பாருங்க. It's such a big upadesha the mother has given the child. So that don't seek and beg for love amongst people, which is what we always do. He has not given me love. She has not. My daughter, she's grown, and then she doesn't reciprocate the love that I poured on her. My son is gone. He's not doing that. My husband, so much, my whole lifetime I spent on this husband giving so much love, he doesn't reciprocate. It is natural to expect that reciprocation, but if you give up your life in suffering and sorrow, that reciprocation has not happened, then we are stuck in this material, mundane kind of a life that we live. So here we are seeing a mother, Suniti, who out of her wisdom is pointing out to the child. What the child does later is different. He takes up that upadesha and he goes on it. But it is important to also recognize how the mother's wisdom is there. How many of us will tell our child that don't go and try to expect for this, or don't try to go and associate yourself with Bhagavan, devote yourself in devotion. Spend your time and try to look for that everlasting truth, love, joy, bliss, whatever that is there. There is something like that, and look for that. How many parents go and tell the children to do that? If your child of whatever age, 50 వయసులో కూడా, if your son or daughter comes and cries to you, you only try to solve his problem. Ayo, how can I do? How can I do? How can I do? How can I do? How many times do we guide people who come to us for solace? How many times do we give them spiritual introduction? This is important, because this time you may be able to give them solace, but the next time they have a problem, the next time, and they will run out. They will know that, oh, this person is going to give only these two, three things. No point in going to this person. But if you enable them with a higher as an access to higher knowledge, access to higher wisdom, you enable them with that, then they are on their own. And that is what happens to Dhruva. He then travels, he goes into the forest, and fortunately for him, Narada Muni appears, Devarishi Narada, and he tells him, I know your story, and I give you, he initiates him into the Dwadasakshara mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And he tells him to go and do sadhana. And so this boy takes it up fervently, goes into the forest, deep into the forest, and starts his meditation. And the story goes that he does it with so much fervor and so much intensity that at some point he reduces his intake. So slowly, one meal a day, then one food, uh, one fruit a day, then one leaf a day, and then nothing, just air, and like that. He keeps intensifying his sadhana and austerity as the days go by. And at the somewhere around 6 months, just 6 months, because see, also child is so pure, child is putting with so much of fire and intensity, nature has to respond. அது தமிழ்ல there is one saying சாது மிரண்டால் காடு தாங்காது, என்ன சொல்லும், காடு கொள்ளாது. So which means somebody who is of pure sadhuna in artham, somebody of pure intention, genuine, if he goes into the even a forest cannot contain him, which means his intentions will have to be responded to by nature. So Bhagavan himself comes down, because what happens before that, of course, in Bhagavatam it goes to explain that how things stop. When he stops his breath, the prana in nature stops. People are getting suffocated. People are feeling suffocated because nature is responding to him. Nature is responding to him. And then all the devatas and all of them go to Narayana and plead. So you have to respond to this little boy. The tapas agni that he is generating through his tapasya is so much that it is unbearable for the whole of creation. The whole of creation is now being affected by the agni of his tapas. And so much determination and so much intensity he is doing tapasya, the austerity that he is performing, with a single pointed goal, that he wants to meet the Supreme Father. Because his mother is told that your actual real father is he. Narayana is your real father. And mother tells, whoever the mother points out as father is the father. That's all, right? Hospital, yaar venalum. பேர் போட்டிருக்கலாம். You could have put anybody's name in the hospital record as father. But then the mother points out who's the father. That is the father. The 5-year-old child takes it seriously. And through this, then Narayana is forced to come down because of his tapas agni. And then he looks at the little boy, and then the little boy sees this form of Narayana, and he's completely overwhelmed and awestruck. He's completely awestruck. And when he's looking at him, He's wanting to say, but he's not able to. He's wanting to say something. He's wanting to. Of course, that's the first thing that will happen to us also, right? When you see something of that kind of that glory and that you what which you've been waiting for, the only expression you'll have is like wide eyes open and mouth open, right? Awestruck. So the boy is also awestruck and completely dumbfounded. He was not able to say anything. Words, he was not able to get words out of his throat. And then Bhagavan gently takes his conch and touches his forehead. Conch is also the representation of Omkara. Conch is Nada Brahma. It's the symbol of Nada Brahma, Nada, sound. So he uses that to touch his forehead and sound enters into him. This is what it says. Yontaf pravishanti. You, the one who entered into me. That's how he starts. So when the sound enters into him, then what flows out is Dhruva Stuti. The Stuti or the Stotra that flows out when Bhagavan touches his forehead with the conch, and whatever he starts speaking or praising praising Bhagavan, that Stuti is called as Dhruva Stuti. It is also called Garuda Dhwaja Stotram. But this is what comes out of Dhruva. And it is interesting, there are 12 verses. So I've tried to kind of map the 12 verses to the 12 aksharas of the Dwadasa Akshara mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, starting with Om, there are 12 syllables, bija aksharas. So each bija, one shloka for each bija. So 12. Because he was initiated into Dwadasa Akshara mantra, what flowed out of him was the expansion or the exposition of the Dwadasa Akshara mantra as he experienced it in his experience. So the first verse goes, Yontaf pravishya mama vacha mimam prasuptam sanjiyatya akhila shaktidhara swadhamna anyanscha hastacharana pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. So he starts with bowing down to this Bhagavan. This Bhagavan who has entered into me. Yaha antah pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam. Who has awakened this speech within me by entering into me. Yaha antah pravishya, having entered into me, my vacham imam prasuptam. He is that which is prasuptam, the sound or the speech that was my vacha, that is sleeping. He sanjivayati. Sanjivayati means awakens. He awakens akhila shakti dharaha. He is the one who is all powerful. The one who is all powerful through his own power or swadhamna, by his own prowess. He enters into me and he is enlivened or awakened all of these faculties within me. A lot of great masters who have had this enlightenment experience also describe their experience as everything that they see now feels alive, feels more real, feels more, although all of this they say is illusion, but it still feels more alive because they are now experiencing consciousness in everything. Somebody who's awakened, a Buddha or Adi Shankara or a Ramana, when they are awakened, they experience Bhagavan, or it could be a Saguna Brahman or Nirguna Brahman, in whatever form, they're experiencing this beautiful consciousness pervading, pulsating everywhere. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. In everything that you call as jagat, this Isha's Vasya is there. He is living, breathing, pulsating, throbbing, and so suddenly it becomes alive. The same experience people get when they have some kind of psychedelic drugs, which is why they look at that as a temporary means. They say that, oh, I get a spiritual experience. But that leaves you dry, it takes you to a high and then leaves you dry. Psychedelic drugs. And it's temporary. And you keep searching for it. Enga vaanganonu. Go to Amsterdam, I go to Thailand, I go to this place. Where do I go to buy? My daughter went to Thailand. She was seeing weed, and some of these things were very freely being sold, some of the resort areas and all. Very interesting. So it becomes such an accessible thing, and there is, because we want quick relief from our sufferings. I want to numb myself. Right? In fact, a lot of times when you watch television, also notice when you're watching television, your mind has become numb. அப்படி ஆயிடும். So there is
Zombies. Zombies.
Zombies, ama, zombie. That state of, because we are wanting to release ourselves from suffering, but we don't know the right way, and we look at temporary means of getting that numbness. So much suffering, I want to numb myself so that I don't feel the suffering. So he is experiencing that, but in a beautiful way, in a spiritual way. Why this awakening, spiritual awakening is important for each one of us, is because then it is, you don't go searching out for some drug on the outside. You are not looking for some thing to support you from the outside, because eventually it is from the inside only. It is an aid that you're taking from the outside. Now, why don't you take an aid of Bhagavan? You don't take an aid of Bhagavatam. You don't take an aid of Bhagavad Kainkaryam. Don't take an aid of Sankalpa on doing Bhagavan Nama. These are aids that are available, which can give you much longer term benefits. It may not be immediate. Like a friend of mine recently he wanted to calm himself down. So I suggested, why don't you go for this pranayama, and so he did that for 2 days. He did a course for 2 days, 3 days. And then after 3 days, he's coming back, and then the daughter is saying, Appa, நீ அப்படியே தானே இருக்க. The daughter is telling me, Appa is like that only, nothing is changed. Because we all want instant gratification, instant response, instant results. I said, it'll take time. It's like a plant that grows. See, if you need to have patience for a seed that you sow and even a twig and a leaf to come out, you have to wait patiently. You can't rush it at all. What you fertilizer, this thing, whatever you do, it will take its own sweet time. So like that, for some of these things to blossom and start showing effects, we have to give it that time. We continue to do it and we give it that time. So what is the idea here? The boy didn't look for temporary relief. He went, because his mother told, he went to look for permanent relief. So yaha antah pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam sanjivayati akhila shakti dhara swadhamna. So one who has entered into me has now awakened me. So beautiful, right? It is who has awakened you? Bhagavan himself has awakened you. Who has come as the Guru? Bhagavan has come as the Guru. Who is the one who is enabling this whole process within you? Bhagavan himself is doing it. Who gave you the inspiration? Bhagavan gave you the inspiration. When this understanding dawns, then suddenly everything seems your senses are awakened. So he says, my senses are awakened. The senses he's saying, Anyanscha hasta charana shravana tvagadin. All of these, your divine presence is felt, the vitality, he says, acknowledging that Anyamscha. So not just my eyes or my speech, not just my speech, my hasta, charana, shravana, tvak, adi, pranan. All of these have now been awakened. All my sense organs, my organs of sense perception, the organs of action, all of these organs are as though they have been enlivened. For the first time, I'm feeling, I'm experiencing this grace flowing within me because Bhagavan himself has entered into me. So, with all of this, I now prostrate unto him. Namaha. Pranan, pranan. So, anyamscha. So, not just vacha, anyamscha, hasta, charana, shravana, tvak adin, pranan. Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. I bow down to you, O Bhagavan, O Purusha, O Mahapurusha. I bow down to you with all of these. Now you have enabled me, my sense organs, my perception, my organs of action, everything now feels enlivened by your presence and your entry. Now, with that, these are the tools you have given me. With these tools, I bow down to you. With these tools, I bow down to you. I do Namo. So now we can say that, oh, Bhagavan came and put that conch on Dhruva's head. He didn't come and put it on my head. So I don't feel that. Dhruva also worked towards it. He did tapasya. During the tapasya that he did, forget 6 months. It is like saying, Nanu, on the 20 years I've been going to temple. No, it is not like that. The intensity of the 6 months is important. The purity with which he went in, the intention and the intensity, both with which this little boy went in, that is important. Very few of us have that. So when you have that, you will see nature will respond to you. You would know that there have been times in your life when you have been pure in your intention, very genuine in your intention, and you've asked and you've tried with intensity, you would have seen that nature has responded to you favorably. Nature may not have responded to you what you're asking for, but it is in favor of your well being. Nature, Bhagavan always works for your well being, not for your desires. Remember this. We think that my desire being fulfilled is when Bhagavan is listening to me. No, Bhagavan is listening to you the moment a prayer goes out. My Guru says no prayer goes unanswered. So prayer goes out, Bhagavan responds to you. Nature responds to you. It responds to you favorably for your well being, not for your desire to be fulfilled necessarily. Whatever is your well being, it will respond to that. Sometimes it matches your desire. Your desire may be such that it causes you well being. So it works in, it appears as though he's fulfilling your desire. So he is going in. Imagine how Dhruva is going into this whole journey. He's going in with that sankalpa. He is going into the forest. He is not caring about some animal is going to come and eat me, mosquitoes are going to bite me, snake is going to bite me. He's not worried about all that. He's going there fearlessly because he has given himself up. The other problem also that we may do is saying that, oh, that is very different. I cannot be like that. I can't be like a Dhruva. I can't give up so much and I can't go somewhere. But don't we give up in our lives? We, anyways, give up a lot of things. You're forced to give up, right? When your loved ones die, you're forced to give up. You don't have a choice. Nobody is asking you, shall I die? They die. You're forced to give up. When money goes away, when you have losses, does it ask you? It's not that, okay, I give up, let the burglar take my house away. Appadi illa, it's done. After things have gone, you have to give up the sense of attachment to it. You have to give up because it's gone. Life forces us many times in relationships. What do you do? It happens. It has happened. What do? You have to give up. You have to give up that holding. My daughter loved a boy and wants to marry, not listening to me. My child, ippudi valathen. I keep holding, but the child has grown and loved somebody and has created attachment elsewhere and wants to go. It's done. What can you do about it? Those who have seen this movie recently, there is this movie called, what is that? De De Pyar De. அப்படின்னு சொல்லி there is a movie that's come, Hindi movie, De De Pyar De. It is Madhavan has acted extremely well in that. R. Madhavan, very good. He is this very possessive father. So how he tries to, of course, the girl loves a person who's much older than her, much older, almost the age of her father. And so the father and the mother, they have a lot of difficulty in trying to accept that and all that. But the idea is shown very nicely how the father is so possessive, he tries to manipulate. At the end of the day, he has to give in, he has to give up and give in. But same thing with our relationships, right? How much control do you have? You have to give up at some point, right? You have to give in, you have to give up. So renouncing bhunji tha, like Ishavasya Upanishad says. This Ishavasya Upanishad says, Tena tyaktena bhunji tha. You renounce all of this and then you live joyfully. So this renunciation we also do. We don't notice it. If you do renunciation actively, consciously, then it is a spiritual journey. Otherwise it is a mundane journey, breaking your head from one incident to the other, one problem to the other, one suffering to the other. So what Dhruva gave up, he gave up the comforts of the palace because of this burning humiliation, insult. We also give up. It's just that we are not conscious about it. Now, the giving up in our case is always like a band-aid. Somebody has to come and rip it off. That is how our giving up is. Somebody, event, situation has to rip you off. Only then you understand. But you don't understand the value of that ripping off. You only, oh, it is paining. The band-aid ripping, paining is what worries you. But you're rid of the band-aid, that you don't see. And the wound is healed. This is important to notice. So he says, my hands, my ears, my legs, everything, all of my parts, everything has been enlivened by you entering into me, Bhagavan. Now, this one verse itself, we can practice every day. Forget the going into the forest and doing, sitting there, and Bhagwan came with a conch, held his head, and all of that. Forget all of that. Just the simple thing, a simple sadhana to see, can I experience Bhagavan entering into me? This is what is called as avahana, prana pratishtha. Avahana is gananaam tva ganapati gum havamahe kavim kavinam upamashravastamam jyeshtarajam brahmana. Come and sit. I invite you. When we invite like this, any form, whatever we wanting to invite, through our dhyana shloka, through the invocation, through Mangala shloka, we're invoking, remember there that form, that energy is entering into us. Yeah, antah pravishya, that should enter into you. You should consider that it is entering into you. In fact, in Tantra, the way this thing is done is, in Tantra, your prana, your energies are the ultimate. So usually the prana pratishtha happens that you take your prana and then you bring it when you're doing a puja. Suppose you have to do a puja, you have a vigraham. You take your prana and you do pratishtha into that vigraham, which means you're doing prana pratishtha. After doing prana pratishtha, you do puja to that vigraham, which means you're doing abhisheka, you're doing kumkum archana, you're doing vibhuti archana, you're doing tulasi archana. All of this archana is happening to you. Your energy is on the outside. You've materialized your energy on the outside in the form of a vigraha. You're doing all of this cleansing, aradhana, and then at the end you have to consume it back. You have to take that energy back and you have to consume it in. This is the exchange between the deity, the Ishta or the Vigraha, and the prana that is here. So he's saying, now this we can practice. When we sit, whatever, when we are starting our sadhana or puja or prayer or japa, dhyana, whatever, there is one way of doing Guru Puja. Sri Vidya Upasanala Guru Puja பண்றதுக்கு ஒரு விதி இருக்கு. மிருக முத்ரான்னு ஒரு முத்ரா வச்சுட்டு there is a vidhi to do that. You're invoking Guru. So this antah pravishya, this entering of that energy is that invocation. Invocation சொல்றோம்ல, whatever we call as invocatory shloka. कौसल्या सुप्रजा रामपूर्वा संध्या प्रवर्तते उत्तिष्ठ नरसार्दूल कर्तव्यम दैवमान्निकम. This Uttishtha is essentially you're invoking that Bhagavan inside. You're asking Bhagavan to come in and wake you up. Uttishtha. We are not going and shaking up Bhagavan to wake up. Right? That is the most, that could be a childlike idea out of love, joy. You can do that. But if you really believe, then that is, it doesn't give you the right understanding, it doesn't give you the right experience of blossoming inside. This needs to happen when you think that this Bhagavan is entering into me and awakening me. Uttishto, Uttishta Govinda, Uttishta Garudadhvaja. So this Uttishta Garudadhvaja is happening inside me. Not that Bhagavan suddenly Garudadhvaja vechina anga avar mudichikrar elundu kanna mudichinde, he is going brushing his teeth and all that. No. This Uttishta, 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 by saying, repeating this, Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran, Nibodhata. This Uttishta is a very important process. And that is what is happening to Dhruva also here. The moment he is actually feeling awake and alive. He's woken up. This is the process of waking up for a realized being. And the realized being says, we're woken up. A small joke. Yesterday my daughter is appa and தூங்க பண்ணப்பான்னு. அப்பாக்கு எல்லாரும் எழுப்பி தான்டா பழக்கம் அப்படின்னு. We are in the business of waking up. We want to wake up people. We want to wake up ourselves. This waking up is an important process, right? It has got nothing to do with, it's got nothing to do with your physical waking up, physical sleeping. No. Waking up to understanding, waking up to recognition of this truth that this Bhagavan, this principle, this Brahman is everywhere. This conscious principle is everywhere. So he is saying, may it enter into me. So we can use this as a prayer to remind ourselves that when I sit for my sadhana, Yah antah pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam. He is coming into me and waking me up so that anyamscha, so that my hasta, charana, shravana, vak, adin, all of these pranan namo, with all of this, once you've entered, O Bhagavan, with all of this pranan namo bhagavate, I bow down to you. I bow down to you, Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. With all this, un arulal, un tal vanangi. Avan arulal, avan tal vanangi. With your grace, O Bhagavan, I am bowing down to you. The same idea, see everywhere. Right? Shivapuranathila varudhu. Avan arulal, avan tal vanangi. So this same idea is presented everywhere by all realized masters, because that is the truth. You've realized now, I am bowing down is not my greatness, it is your grace. It is your grace that I am able to bow down to you, Bhagavan. That surrender, that feeling of bowing down, that feeling of surrender, which is why in our culture we always have this process of bowing down physically also. Kala tottu shevingo, sashtanga namaskaram. You go to Bhagavan, you go to a temple and you just fall sashtangam on the floor. That feeling is absolutely liberating. In front of the Sannidhi, you just look at Bhagavan and you just fall like that completely. Such a liberating feeling. Because you know that He's taken care of you. So with that beautiful start, see, this is how the year is also beginning for us. Let us invite Him into our lives. There is a beautiful poster I have put up outside the prayer room. It is from the Basilica or St. Peter's Basilica in London, Rome, or London, I think. It was a very beautiful painting, a very archaic kind of painting, where Christ is standing at the door and trying to knock. Christ is standing at the door and knocking. So it is symbolic of saying that Bhagavan is standing right outside. Guru, that principle that needs to come into you, is standing right outside and it's waiting there for you to let it in. So let us make this sankalpa through Dhruva Stuti. With the Stuti of Dhruva, he is guiding us to invite Bhagavan, invite him into your life. Right? जब हरि था, जब मैं था हरि नहीं, अब हरि है मैं नहीं. Always, I keep repeating this all the time, right? जब मैं था हरि नहीं, Hari was not there, but I was there. There is no space for Hari. अब हरि है मैं नहीं. Now I've invited Hari, I am not there. So I have dissolved, I have surrendered. So we should be able to invite Bhagavan, invite that grace, Guru's grace, whatever we've learned, let us invite that into our lives. And we start this year beautifully with the Stuti. And with all our sadhanas, every day with our whatever prayers that we do, whenever we go to the altar, let us visualize that antah pravishya. This term, remember, antah pravishya. Antah pravishya means having entered into me. Having entered into me. The rendu vartha mattum antah pravishya. Yaha antah pravishya. One who is entering into me. So it's a present participle, present continuous tense. Having entered into me, entering into me, continues to enter into me. So by his entering, I am enlivened. And I'm able to do whatever I'm able to do. So this is literally an invocatory shloka, the first shloka. Okay. So beautiful. We'll pause here today. We'll pick up next week. Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriyerva Buddhyatmana va Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Yatyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanaayeti Samarpayami Sadashivayeti Samarpayami Jagadambiketi Samarpayami Sadgurunathayeti Samarpayami Hari Om Tat Sadgurubhyo Namaha Gurudeva. So through this year, through this Pongal, everything, may all of us be abundantly blessed. Abundance, grace, abundant love, abundant joy. எல்லாம் நமக்கு abundanceல கிடைக்கட்டும் அப்படியே. Right? Because the Supreme Father is our Father. எதுக்கு பிச்சைக்கார மாதிரி போய் நிற்கணும்? Give me, right? I've surrendered myself to you. Okay. Hari Om. Thank you.